I believe President Jacob Zuma is the most loved and the most respected president I've ever seen. Presidents have came, presidents have went, but I've never seen a president being loved like people love Jacob Zuma. He's the most respected president I've ever seen in our country. Even though he's not the current president, even though he's out of power, people still want to follow him. People still care about what he has to say. People still believe in him. People care about his well-being. He's the type of president people don't mind dedicating their lives trying to protect. That's the type of leader he is. So most political leaders or most political commentators, they are bored. They are bored and they want to discredit his name. They want to paint a false narrative around his name. And they don't realize people are not buying it. People are not just believing anything. People don't just believe anything because you're a political commentator and you have qualifications. It doesn't mean shit. You're not convincing anyone. So people are not buying it. They're not buying the false narratives around President Jacob Zuma's name. That's one thing you should understand and you should know. It doesn't matter if he becomes the president of the country or he doesn't become the president of the country. But him being respected, him treated like a leader, him being treated like a king, that matters a lot for South Africa and South African politics. And I will tell you why. Because people love him, right? People follow him. And I don't think people want him to be the president. People just don't want him to be disrespected by the media. People don't want him to be treated like he's an animal and he's not a leader. That's what people don't like. And the media is treating him like he's a criminal, he's an animal, and he's not a human being. And people don't like that. To show that people don't like when President Jacob Zuma is treated like he's a nobody. You remember during lockdown when they imprisoned him, where you can argue whether it was fair or not. Put that aside. But he was imprisoned and people believed that imprisonment was unfairly. It was not fair. It was unjust. Remember what happened. Remember what happened. The July unrest. There was chaos in the country using Jacob Zuma's name. His name is worth chaos. His name is worth creating problems if you don't respect it. People will die for this man. People don't mind protecting this man's legacy. That's the type of leader he is. He's treated like a king. He matters to preserve a certain culture. So discrediting his name and his legacy will only create more problems because people are tired of their leaders being disrespected, being treated unfairly. People are tired because Jacob Zuma is a leader of a community, is a leader of a people, is a leader of a nation, is a leader of a certain culture. Do you think people will just allow their leader to be mistreated without any consequences? Don't be so gullible as a country to believe people are stupid. Don't be so gullible as media or as a nobody, whoever is going to comment here and be like, hey, Jacob Zuma doesn't matter. He matters. And I'm not saying he should be the president. I'm not saying he should go to parliament. I'm not saying, I'm not even a member of the MK. I won't even vote for the MK. But at least put some respect on this man's name. Respect this man. Stop treating him like he's a nobody, like he's a criminal, like he's an animal. It will come with consequences. I'm telling you. Okay. So, yeah. People should just acknowledge sometimes. Put your hate aside. Put your jealousy aside. I understand most people in South Africa are jealous. Like, they are jealous because they are not that man. They are not him. They are not Jacob Zuma. They are not loved like Jacob Zuma. They are not respected like Jacob Zuma. So they are jealous to see another man being loved and respected by a community of people. So they are jealous because it's not them. So they would rather discredit his name than acknowledge that, yo, this is worth admiring. It's worth admiring. You have to admire if someone is doing good or if someone is being respected. You have to give him the props. You have to admire that person. You can't sit back as a nobody, as someone who is unknown. No one knows you there in the comment. Be like, hey, President Jacob Zuma, hey. Like, who are you? No one knows you. You are not influencing anyone, so nobody cares about you. You don't even qualify to give opinions about what you think about him. So stop it, man. Jacob Zuma is a great man. That's why he's loved and respected. People don't just respect and love anyone. So you should best believe there is something about him that makes people love him, that makes people respect him.